Hello. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
This is Babs Alexander, the international vocal coach, and we are having a chat today with another voice teacher, Miss Lisa Bryce, opera singer extraordinaire. Hi, Lisa. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you. So happy to be here.
Oh, my goodness. Are you staying safe during this little COVID season?
Yes, I am. I am staying protected, masked, hands washed, and I don't go out as much. I'm staying very safe.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, you be happy to know I took a test and I just got my results back yesterday. So they was like, "Hey, you negative." I was like, "I'm leaving
Woo!
town." I was going to my family's for the holidays, and they were like, "You're not coming unless you got a test." Long story short, I got a test. I'm gonna scale it back for one. Can you just tell us one first of all who you are, a little bit about you and your background, so people know I'm not just talking to a person I done pulled out of a handbag.
I am Lisa Bryce, a classically trained soprano. I sing opera, oratorio, and concerts. I lived in Germany for several years. I also lived in Italy as well, where I also met Barbara on another trip that I took to Italy. So Barbara and I have known each other for quite some time. We met in the homeland of opera, where opera was birthed, Italy. And I studied in New York, studied overseas. I also taught music, had private students and at university level, conservatory, adults. I also taught public school, kindergarten to up until ninth grade, and continued
Wow.
on um, with pre-K, tots, everything. So I've taught quite a bit of music and I've studied quite a bit myself. So while I am teaching, I'm also studying, but through teaching, I learn, and it's something that I enjoy. And Barbara loves it. Barbara loves teaching. She's a magnificent teacher. She just works
Oh,
wonders
thank you.
with the voice.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Lisa. You've done so much work. Oh my goodness. See, that's why we have to have you come and be our guest, a best musician, a guest musician, and do a master class for us. We really want
Certainly.
you to take some time out. We right now we're running these Black Friday specials for master classes, and we're asking people to take their time to really get involved. I mean, we dropped the prices down to almost nothing, to be able to get people in so they can get some quality education, quality training, understanding their tonality, understanding how to support their breathing, and understanding their vocal range, and how to be able to use pitch inflection, and be able to do so many things. People have a desire and they want you to hear them, and you listening and you like this, you smile. I mean, I've heard people say, "Ooh, everybody can sing," and I'm like, that's not true. Everybody can love music, but everybody cannot necessarily sing. I'm glad that they have these new apps out now where people can actually, instead of letting somebody else tell you, you can sing the note and find out how far off you really are with the music. So it's important that people understand and know where they're going and what they're going to do. So those are the types of things that's been happening. But now, Lisa, let's dive right into this. And thank you so much and welcome to our vlog today. So I wanted to talk to you today. And Lisa, thank you so much for being our first participant on Babs, the International Vocal Coach blog. And so I was sitting down and I was trying to see, what is it that we could really talk to participants and be able to really actively help them and give them something so they can grow. And the one thing I've always thought and have always said, even us as voice teachers and singers and vocal coaches, it is so important that we continue to work with each other and empower each other so we can stay up on our own skills. In doing this for 30 years, it's very easy to forget things. And it's always so good to go and have some classes, or, talk with other vocal coaches. And because everybody, just imagine a student being in the same class for 12 years. It's just like having a kid in a bubble. You can't do
Right.
that. So I think it's so important because students constantly want to learn. They want to learn. They want to take advantage of opportunity, of learning styles. I mean, I even years ago, I used to tell my students, listen, after 5 or 6 years, it's time to go. It's time to go. It's time for you to learn another style, another technique, listen to another teacher, listen to their methods and their models. We may have all actually learned from the same book, but we didn't get the same information. It didn't all digest the same way. We all have a different style, a different ministry, if I could say it that way. You know what I'm saying? So today I really wanted to talk about the tessitura. And I really wanted to dive into that and talk about what is it, how people can find that sweet spot, and people to understand their range, and should they be worrying about I sing in the key of G, or I sing in the key of C. Oh yeah, started in the key of C, maestro. Well, what if your voice don't feel good that day? I mean, come on. And let's talk about. Can you tell us a little bit about your tessitura and what you think about what your range is, or should we be concerned with finding out what key we need to sing in? Or talk to me a little bit about that, please.
Okay. I am a soprano.
Mm-hmm.
And for different registers, soprano, alto, tenor, bass. For the soprano register, a majority of my singing is done in head voice, in the head resonance.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of my notes can be accessed through the upper tones, the upper register.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I get down to the lower part of my voice, I might not go into chest voice like an alto would or a bass would. So the head voice is where my voice sits. When
Okay.
it comes to your personal preference, I know there's certain songs that sound better in certain keys in your voice. That you want to wake up the same voice, the same person every day. That is not the case. For me, sometimes I can sing a song even higher, and other days I say, oh, just a little lower today. And it depends on my sleep, how much water I drank, my diet. It depends on the day. So, another thing, there in classically trained singers, there are many vocalized books, many beginning singer songs, 24 Italian arias. And through these songs, you can tell if one song is easier for you and another song is more difficult for you. You can tell from there where your voice sits. You can tell what is easier for you, what is not. You can even tell if you're a soprano, alto, or tenor or bass, just based on how you sing the song. And these are very simple beginner songs that can help weed out any problems, pinpoint problems, and make them clear.
Okay, so you're saying that they need to take the time, whether they're going to do classical pieces or even if they're going to do any other style of music, but they need to take the time to sing, um, not just one song, but maybe a collection of songs, not just on one day, but on various days,
Yes.
because their voice range may have different clarities at different times. Is that what we
Correct.
understand?
That is right.
Okay, okay. So I really want people to really take that home and take that away, and turn around and answer to this block here, because it's important. What song do you feel comfortable in singing? or what group of songs, and start to find yourself, find your comfort. You said something that I really wanted to bring back. You said, oh, I might not have had enough water that day. You want to elaborate on that a little bit, please?
When I sing, when I go for an audition, when I sing a song, there are some people who can get up and sing without having breakfast or anything. They need a clear throat. Other people, like myself, need something to pass through their throat. Sometimes I need to make sure I've had a meal or just had some water. Waking up and singing on a dry throat, that is very unique. I know a few people like that, but the majority need to have just had something at least pass through your throat before you sing. So it's preferable and optimal for it to be water. But sometimes, even if it's just eggs, an apple, just anything, but just waking up at the top of the morning and starting to sing, I know very few people like that, just a few.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's so important. I always tell my students, make sure that you keep the vocal cords lubricated, because it's so, so important when you're singing. You don't want to feel that scratchiness. So you want to make sure that they're lubricated, and be mindful of what you're eating. Don't find anything salty. No sunflower. I'll never forget. I had a voice lesson and I had sunflower seeds. I was traveling an hour already to the lesson. I'm sitting on the train eating sunflower seeds, going through my music, just humming it, but oh my goodness. I got there, I choked the entire hour.
That is
The
typical with
entire
nuts and dairy and even granola. So you have to be careful what you choose as well. A piece of fruit is a very good idea, in addition to water.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that is so important. And I mean, we could say so many things in this vlog about the do's and don'ts of music, because it's so well needed in the music industry, and people trying to understand, what's my voice, how do I sing this, or can everybody reach that, or am I a bad person because I can't sing that? Everything is not for you to sing. You really have to find your style. And I want to touch on that really quickly, then we're going to get off of here. But you stated that your majority is classical music. So you've been doing, arias, oratorios, and things like that. Now, even though that's my background and that is my love, however, I love Broadway music. I just love it. So, however, when I started training, the transition between the two, the training is different. The training is different. When he was teaching classical music, we were in a more, the vocal leases and the ranges and things like that was a little different, more open area. Depends on what it is, what brightness we were doing. We were doing more singing inside the resonators up in the goggles, but and then when we started singing the Broadway music, it was a lot heavier. It was sort of harsh, and you had to have a different, you were breathing, but you had to take more air in to support the tone. I mean, you could use the same technique. It was like, you ever heard of a football player saying the basics is ballet?
Oh, I think I heard that a while ago.
Yeah. Yeah, the basics is ballet, and then they go into the more rigorous things. However, but because the basics was classical music for me, and that background and understanding how to do some things, it really helped me to cope and transition into the Broadway music. But even with jazz and in gospel, all different, all different. I'm blessed to be able to teach the various styles, but you teach them differently. You have to do different things to get them to understand what they're doing. So you want to elaborate on that?
Well, there is a type of Broadway singing called the jits. singing, where you can use your classical voice to sing Broadway. So a
Right, like
completely
showboat.
operatically trained singer or classically trained singer can sing Broadway. A lot of Oscar and Hammerstein is like that.
Yes.
Gershwin, of course, is like
Cats.
that.
Yeah.
Cats,
Porgy
that's
and
right.
Bess. Yes.
So
Yes.
you can sing The Sound of Music operatically, Climb
Yes.
Every Mountain. Um,
The
you can
hills
yes,
are high.
you can do that with a totally classical voice. The entire show of The Sound of Music is all classical, and
Absolutely.
it was made and it can be played both ways. There is another thing with Broadway, musical theater, they tend to be mic'd. So you can do a lot of training in the studio music for musical theater, but it's also optimal sometimes to even purchase a microphone for yourself and also
Practice.
practice with a microphone.
Absolutely.
And a lot of opera singing, they teach you how to sing without a mic and to project your voice into a hall. And a lot of opera halls are specially made with acoustics that bounce around the hall to make it easier. But musical theater, they are mic'd, so there's almost like a different technique for singing into a mic. So
Absolutely.
those are little differences, but they are highlights.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. We got to have you back on the show again. Yeah, I'm true. I truly enjoy talking to you. That's what I'm telling you.
Thank
The best
you.
part about training, and even when you're training the students, I love talking with other teachers to give them viewpoints and more insight on what we're doing so they can be able to understand it. We may be talking about the same thing, but a different way, so people can understand. Because as we know now and today in math, they have so many different ways of doing it. You're like, how you get that? What happened to just this basic way? Things have changed. So thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you for joining us. And
My
now,
pleasure.
we will definitely, we're going to write a couple of things and give people the opportunity to ask questions. And how can people get in touch with you if they wanted to ask you some questions, Lisa? You have an email address so they can ask questions?
Yes, you can ask questions at brycelisa@yahoo.com. I'm open to answer any and all questions.
Well, thank you so much, Miss Bryce Lisa at yahoo.com. Thank you for joining us. And we truly look forward to hopefully you singing with us the next time so we can hear that beautiful voice. Thanks again. This has been the first blog for Babs, the International Vocal Coach. Talk to you guys soon and you have a great day. Bye. Thanks, Lisa.